And we are back, G-Mac and Winnie, coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
Well, what's going on, buddy?
Not a lot, man. Good week. It is what it is, you know.
That's exactly it.
You get battling. It's starting to get cold.
Yeah, I like it, though. That's fine.
It's your weather.
Polar bear weather. Sleeping good. Yeah, just it is what it is.
Our whole shifting to north and south, once you hit record, it doesn't do
it. Are you shitting me?
No.
It just goes back?
Yeah, so to get our intro right,
yeah.
I have to do it landscape.
Right.
And then I try to go vertical, and it's just locked. It's locked.
Fuck, okay. Oh.
It is what it is.
We try.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. Still battling the fucking remnants of the infection. Doctor said it looked good, but the leg is super swollen and may stay that way for quite some time.
You're going to have to lose it? We'll call you Eileen.
I might have to. God forbid. Yeah, it's still, the swelling is pretty bad.
If you lose a leg, I'm just letting you know we're painting you up like Kamala.
That's awesome. That's great. The star and the half moon on my belly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I come out with the mask?
Can I be like, who was it, Frenchie Martin or who somebody? Kim Chi.
Yeah, you got to wear
I'll put the helmet on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the superstar mask.
Yep, yeah. Definitely.
That's good, man. I mean, listen, it's good news in a way. You know, like it is what it is. You just got to start cleaning up. All right, so challenge time. I'm going to challenge you, and I'm also challenging Tommy DeSico.
Deal.
We've all had these medical things going on. Challenge, $50 each person. You got until the end of February. Person who loses the most weight, winner take all.
Yeah, all right, cool.
And this, because competition always brings out better.
Yeah,
I feel.
Definitely.
I feel, because then if you are 5 pounds behind me,
right,
it's going to make you work harder to get.
I'm going to take a massive shit.
And if it's monetarily,
yeah,
you know, if there's a monetary incentive,
absolutely,
you're definitely going to be in.
Right.
So would it be in December now? That gives you full 90 days to get it done.
Right. Realistically, 60. Well, you could drop some before Christmas. Christmas week's always that shit week.
Oh yeah, because you're going to eat cookies and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
But you get a head start for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good one. I like it.
So you get your start weight, and then it's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, should it be a percentage? It probably should be a percentage
of what, your total weight.
Your total weight, yeah.
Yeah, because I can lose more just because I'm bigger. I can lose more faster.
Right. Like if you lost 10% of your body weight,
that'd be like.
I'm just saying,
40 pounds.
But I'm just saying, like if you lost, you know what I mean? If each person lost 10%, then it'd be even. But because of total pounds, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So the Duke is going to Florida. He's going fishing. He's going to be in the warm weather. He's stayed off the cigarettes so far. Okay. He's ready to kill somebody.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I go to him, do you got your patch on? And he's like, nah, that shit ain't working. I go, dude, you're just going cold turkey like the patch. He goes, hey, it ain't helping. I go, it's helping that you don't realize
When I quit smoking back in 2005, I tried the patch too.
Yeah.
But it was a fucking bitch because every time I lit it, it would stick to my lips.
You're an idiot.
Yeah. God, it's been that long. I haven't fucking smoked.
Like 18, 20.
I mean, I chew like a fucking fiend. But
18
it's
years.
20 years. Yeah.
18 years. Yeah.
That was pretty bad for a bit too. That was before
I didn't
hanging out.
Yeah, I didn't know you
smoked.
Pack a
day guy. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've only ever seen you smoke once, and that was when when somebody said something off color to you, and I threatened to escort the guy to the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I don't know if you were nervous or whatever.
Extreme stress brought it out, and I wasn't really chewing yet.
Yeah.
At that point, but I haven't. I think once in a while. Fuck, the last time I tried a cigarette or even a draw of one, I was drinking with Johnny Hi-Hat.
Oof.
And he smokes. Well, no, he quit too. But he smoked fucking Newports. And if you've never smoked a menthol cigarette and you haven't been smoking and the first fucking thing you drag is a menthol, yeah, it'll fuck your day up. So I was like, oh, this is why I quit.
Yeah, I never started because my parents are smokers. So
yeah,
I was like, you'd come in and
Why'd your mom quit?
when Journey was born.
I was gonna say,
Like
I
she always
don't
said, if she had a
ever remember
granddaughter.
her.
Yeah, but here's what's weird about it. Journey was born, she quit. Summer was born, she smoked again.
Oh shit!
And then she quit again after whatever.
Yeah.
My dad smoked my entire life until 1998. He had a heart attack.
Yeah.
He lit one up outside the hospital before he went in. Went in a hospital, came home. He's like, man, never again. Like he came home and like the smell in the house.
Once you lose a taste for it, it's done.
And he used to always be a real dick to me because I'd be like, I don't want my clothes smelling like this. I'd keep my clothes in my closet. You know, I didn't want my jacket on the, the coat hanger out in the area.
Room.
Yeah, because like my sister smoked, my mom smoked, my dad smoked. If they had friends over, they smoked.
Right.
You'd come out and at my dining room table, it would just be this.
Oh, look like fucking Los Angeles, the haze.
Yeah. And people that are like today, it's like, it's not common. Right.
My grandfather, my father's side was so bad. I'm sorry, my mother's side was so bad. He'd wake up to take a piss during the night, and he'd
have a cigarette.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Duke does.
And he'd fucking fall asleep, and then if you looked on the dresser, it was a marble. Grandparents' dresser was a marble top.
Yeah.
But there were fucking like
burn marks
from where he fucking put the cigarette down and fall asleep.
Yeah. But people don't realize, like, a lot of people, I mean, our generation will. The mall used to have ashtrays in it.
Right. I remember
You know what I mean? Like, you had ashtrays in the mall. Everybody smoked. Smoking or non-smoking sections.
That was the biggest bullshit. Smoking and non-smoking.
Right.
When you're in the fucking room, it's going to get to you one way or another.
So when I
Casinos, though, in Atlantic City, when I was down there this summer, they still have it.
It's probably a stress thing. If they can smoke and gamble, they do. When I moved to Tennessee, New York had already outlawed it, right?
Yeah.
And rightfully so in this aspect. If you were a bartender or a waitress or a hostess and you didn't smoke, you were still stuck in all that shit.
You're being subjected to it the whole day.
Right. So for those people, it was good. But in New York, they had already outlawed it in 2003, 2004 when I moved to Tennessee. I get to Tennessee, it's like smoking or non. You walk into a thing, I got the girls, they're little,
right,
and my ex-wife, and they're like, smoking or non. I'm like, what do you mean? And the thing is you're the smoking section, I'm the non-smoking section.
You're right next to each other.
What difference does it make? Yeah.
I've never fuck, I don't think so.
What's that?
Never kissed a smoker.
I did. Dre was a smoker. She tried to hide it, think I didn't know.
Right, and apparently it's very easy to know. I hated
what she did. She was very good, like her dental hygiene and all that.
Fucking hands was the worst.
Well, used to give her away, and she never could figure it out. She had this thick Italian black hair.
Oh yeah,
and her hair smelled it.
Yeah,
and she'd like spray perfume around her, so this would all be good.
Still smoking,
but then
perfume.
I would go in and kiss her cheek.
Right.
But like in here underneath,
right.
The perfume never got under there, so I smelled that she was smoking. Another time,
it's like taking a
this
shit
is
and
hilarious.
Then spraying air freshener.
This is totally hilarious. She doesn't realize, right? She's working at a building either on Broadway or just off of Broadway in Kingston.
Oh, I remember the office.
Yeah, at an office, right?
Yeah, I remember.
So she's acting like she doesn't smoke anymore, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I don't know if it was for work or for whatever, but I'm coming up Broadway, and I'm never up Broadway. Maybe a doctor appointment, something. Well, I come up Broadway, and she's standing outside smoking on her break.
Oh, shit.
And I drive by. You know what I mean? And I don't say anything. I get home, I'm like, oh, were you smoking today? And she's like, no, I don't smoke anymore. What do you mean? And meanwhile, I saw her smoking. And I just laughed to myself, like, you know what I mean? I didn't care, but at the same point, it's like, I wish, back then that the cell phone was like, hey, click. You sure you weren't?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it never appealed to me because, like I said, my oldest sister and my parents did.
Right.
Their friends would come over. They all did.
Right.
And it was just a stale stench. And I think Duke had that before he came out of the hospital, he had his cleaning lady go in, scrub everything. They have I think it's like a smoker neutralizing set.
Oh, there is, yeah, definitely.
Open all the windows, kind of wash all the stuff, really go through it because he didn't want to come back. And I was like, Tom, you might want to come back and be like, oh, God, before she cleans it all. And then it's like, oh, no, what do you mean?
Right.
If you come back and you smell that it smells like smoke and stale, you might be like, oh, shit, clean that.
It's funny, though, because being friends with Tommy now as long as it's been a fucking over a decade. or about a decade. I've seen him smoke, but he's not a chain smoker.
No.
He's not.
Like when we coached
if he's
sports
even
and
a pack
stuff,
a day,
he was like M&M's.
Right.
He wouldn't smoke in front of the kids.
Never.
He would
never ever. He'd go off into the woods.
He'd go way away. He didn't want people seeing him.
Right.
Yeah,
if he
you're
was
right.
a half a pack a day guy, I would have been shocked.
Yeah, I agree.
I definitely didn't ever really see him smoking a lot. But
I mean, I have, but I have a different relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like what we would do around him, even like when we were, we go to football games and stuff. He might have one before the game, one at halftime, one after the game.
Right.
And that might be like nerves.
Right.
You're right. He's never been a chain smoker.
No, I've never seen him light one. And listen, we know people who will light one off the next.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I've seen that. Dude, I remember, I don't know what the fuck got into me this one day. I was back, so I went to Cobleskill, fucked that up, came home. Took the next semester off, and then the following fall, went to Ulster. Fucked that up too. But before I fucked that up, I remember going to the smoke. Did you go to Ulster?
For like a semester or two, yeah.
All right, so you remember the cafeteria. And, in the cafeteria, there was a smoking room.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting in there, doing homework. And I don't know what the fuck. I usually smoked Parliament Ultralights. For whatever reason.
That's like a chick cigarette, isn't it?
No,
Parliaments?
you're thinking Capris, the long, thin ones.
Yeah.
This is regular fucking filtered cigarette. But for whatever reason that day, I had a pack of Marlboro Reds. And
that's what my dad smoked.
And I smoked the whole fucking pack.
Sitting there?
Over the course.
Was it stressful homework or something?
I don't know. But over the course of like 4 hours, I smoked the entire pack. And I've never been fucking sicker. It's the worst.
My dad smoked Marlboro Reds. My sister Marlboro Gold.
Okay.
They were like a gold or silver pack.
Yep.
My mom, I'm not really sure what she smoked.
Now
I think they were like white with a teal writing on it. Was that a Parliament?
Oh God.
Every mom, aunt, friend had that leather pouch that the cigarettes went in with the lighter in the front of it.
My aunt. Both of my older aunts on my mom's side that lived in Poughkeepsie had that leather pouch.
And that brown glass ashtray.
That's right. That's right. No matter how much you wash it, it's got this film of ash in it.
Yeah. Do you remember the old McDonald's little tin cigarette ashtrays? They were tiny.
They
were probably like the size of the bottom of a cup.
Yeah.
With 3 dents in them and the M.
That's fucking
It's
funny.
so wild, like how we were like so, tobacco was everything, and now it's almost like.
Well, if you look back like in the 50s, tobacco advertising was fucking crazy.
Well, I always say this: America's built on addiction.
It is.
So it went from like Folgers and coffee and cigarettes to now it's whatever, it's social media,
right?
What you know what I mean? Like there's a different addiction.
Dude, if you look at old like ballparks from the 40s and 50s.
Oh yeah, all tobacco ads.
Tobacco and beer.
The original baseball cards were tobacco cards.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Came in packs of cigarettes.
Yeah. Remember the people winning like the Marlboro jacket back in the day?
Oh my God.
They had them catalogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You smoked so much, you
save the Marlboro points.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is wild shit, like when you think back about it, you know what I mean? But then like to tell your kids, you go to a mall and there was gigantic like ashtrays with sand in them that you'd have to put the ashtray, you'd have to put the cigarette. It was wild stuff, man. Yeah. It was wild stuff.
That's funny. My grandfather, you said your father, my grandfather quit cold turkey. He started smoking when he was 12. This is on my mom's side.
Yeah.
Quit cold turkey at 62, so 50 years of smoking. Had a minor heart attack. And then the reform smoker is the worst.
Yeah.
So listen, he would I wouldn't smoke in the house when I lived with them. I'd go outside. And or I'd go down in the basement. That's where my aunt smoked when she was around. And so he'd bitch. Fucking it's bad for you, this, that, and the third. And then they'd go visit either my grandmother's sister in Missouri or his sister in Florida.
Yeah.
And he'd come back and hand me 2 cartons.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's just the way they got around it,
Yep.
I know when my dad quit, after he had the heart attack, he quit. He came back. Came home, he's like, wash this whole house down. This place stinks. I'm sorry. Like, he apologized to me.
Yeah.
And, like, it validated everything I said all those years, right? And then he was like, and my mom was still smoking at the time. He's like, "Get the hell outside with that shit."
Yeah.
You know, like he was like that hard stance on it, like never again. And that's willpower because some people they can't do it.
Right.
So I hope Duke stays with it because like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I hope both things. I hope he stays off drinking and the cigarettes because I think this might have scared him. But you know him, the old outlaw. But going back to way back where this thing first started, $50 each.
Yeah.
Winner at the end of February. I'm sure he'll be in because you just got to be
Oh, he likes
motivated.
competition. So
it's natural to
absolutely
be driven by competition.
Yep.
Because if all of a sudden I look across the table and you're all drawn out and you lost 50 pounds and I'm at like 10, I'm going to be like, oh shit, I better get on the horse.
Fuck?
Right, I better get pedaling.
So,
all right, let's jump into our first segment.
All right.
All right, this week's top 5. The top 5 best forgotten songs.
All right, so what way did you attack this?
I attacked it like songs that were very popular at a point in time, any point in time,
Right.
to you. You know what I mean? I mean, and then like you almost forget about it, and then you hear it, and you're like, oh my god, that was such a great song at that time.
Right.
Where did it go? I do have a couple honorable mentions, but I'll do them at the end because in case they're on a list.
All right.
Want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 5, Everything, Hooch.
What?
I knew you would say that. It was called Hooch by Everything. It was like, who got the Hooch?
Everything is the name of the group.
Is name of the band,
Okay.
and the name of the song is Hooch.
Okay. What years is this?
Late 90s. Late 90s. I saw them in concert with Smash Mouth and all that at UPAC at a Christmas concert.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they did a
Smash Mouth Christmas concert.
Well, no. It was like it was called a Christmas concert.
Oh.
It wasn't like Christmas music.
It was in December.
It was in December,
Okay.
yeah. And it was like Smash Mouth, Everything, and they were amazing live because they had like a horn section, piano.
Yeah.
They had everything.
Okay.
But it was Everything Hooch, and if you heard it, you would immediately. I should actually play it without. I mean, copyright. We'd probably get screwed, but I knew you would say that. So go ahead, do your number 5, and I'll.
You get the keyed up. All right.
Yeah.
My number 5, The Angry American, Toby Keith.
And how's that one go?
That's the courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
I'm proud. Yeah. Okay.
Huge around 9/11.
Yeah.
Every radio station was playing it. It was a real. That's when I think our country, our patriotism was at an all-time high, and Toby Keith came out with that song, and it. Oh, hold on.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
It
I just had a pause.
It got you fired up. It was like the one point in America history.
We'll put a boot in your ass.
Yeah, it got everybody fired
yeah.
up. And then you don't hear it on the radio at all anymore. I came across it and I was like, you know what? It was a huge hit.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The best forgotten songs. Like you forget about it.
It was a huge hit.
And it just disappeared.
It just disappeared, yeah.
It would be offensive today. Okay, so this is Hooch. It was a big hit in the 90s. Here you go. You were a gangster rap guy, so this probably didn't fall into your listening thing.
It's got a.
It was like a top 40.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's got. Oh man, that'll be an honorable mention. I just thought of a good song.
All right, my number 4, Deep Blue Something, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Okay, good song.
But forgotten about.
Yeah.
But it was huge at a period of time.
Yeah.
Around. Oh my God! You just said honorable mention. Early 2000s.
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
This is funny.
Actually, probably mid 90s.
I'm wondering if our
mid 90s to early 2000s
are gonna end up the way I think they are. I have a lot other than that Toby Keith song because it was so specific to 9/11.
Right.
The rest of my stuff is 80s or older, and I'm having a feeling yours is going to be 90s to 2000 for most.
Well, that's our genre difference, right?
Yeah. So my number 4, Up Where We Belong, Joe Cocker and Jennifer Warnes.
Yes.
Awesome fucking song. Number 1 song. And it's one of those songs to where it gets no real radio play anymore. If you're lucky enough to catch it on a Sirius or an oldie station, you're
Right.
listening from start to finish.
Right, and that is exactly why I wanted this top 5.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those. Yeah, it was one of those.
Joe Cocker is fucking.
Joe Cocker's amazing,
legendary.
So,
and I got to hear that live at Woodstock '94.
Okay, and I was gonna just tell a story about that. I remember being at Woodstock '94, but I remember being at Woodstock '94, and it's fucking hot, humid, and raining.
Yes.
And I'm standing probably like, I'd say probably 20 people from right in front of the stage, 20 people back.
Yeah.
And it's muggy. You remember?
It was disgusting.
It was just disgusting, and it was so muggy that it just started raining, and not like torrentially raining, just raining.
Right.
And Cocker comes out and he's singing a song that he sang at the original Woodstock. I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head right now. And all of a sudden, like, it's dreary and dark, and all of a sudden, it was like magic, bro. The sky opens up, and just a beam of sunlight is on Joe Cocker singing the song.
That's awesome.
It was like the most magical moment to be in the time, and you didn't have a cell phone, so you're not up there, hey, you know, you're just in the moment. You know what I mean? And being there, and he's out front.
Buy this.
Woodstock '94.
I gotta buy the CD set. Yeah.
So to be there, to be in front of him, to see that happen, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And on that same stage, I then watched Cypress Hill.
For real. You know and Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
It was
wild.
It was a long week for me because I worked it.
Yep.
But it was a fucking awesome week.
Great week. So now we kind of understand. I hope everybody understands why we picked this topic, because it's one of these things, like, out of the blue, it shows up on a obscure radio channel, and you go, oh my God, I forgot about that song.
Right.
All right, number 3, Michael Damian, Rock On. I knew you would say that too. I don't think I have it. I'll find it on my phone.
Rock On.
Michael Damian was an actor, and he redid this song.
I have a feeling I'm going to know the song as soon as I hear it. This sounds something familiar. The other one did not.
You would definitely know it. I think it's from the movie Dream a Little Dream with the Coreys.
And just to add to that, Up Where You Belong was from An Officer and Gentleman. It was
yes,
one
Love Lives. Yeah. Michael Damian, Rock On. Let's see. Totally late 80s.
Rock On. Yes, you know, I remember it now.
This is one of those songs that I loved at that time frame.
Yeah, I remember this now. Yep.
And I like his version.
It is what I thought it was.
I actually like his version better than the original guy.
Yeah, not to be Lovey Smith, but it is what I thought it was.
Right.
All right, cool. That was
my number 3.
My number 3, a favorite of yours, I'm sure. The Gambler, Kenny Rogers.
Yeah. One of those songs, it's not played on the radio.
No.
But then people just start singing it.
You know all the words.
Right. And it'll turn up in a movie here and again.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, people forget about it, and then they play, and you're like, oh my God, then you know all the words.
People listen, it's I don't know if it's that genre of country has been overshadowed by, like,
Garth Brooks.
I would say there's everything
and
up
Morgan
to
Wallen
Garth.
now.
Everything up to Garth and everything post Garth. And it's weird. Now, Garth performed last Friday on Amazon after the Jets-Dolphins game. He had a concert in a bar. It was fucking awesome. It was great to see Garth again. I guess he's going to be touring. Have
you ever heard the issues between Tom Segura and Garth Brooks?
No.
Look it up. That's a rabbit hole right there.
Okay.
So while we're on that real quick, thinking back on Kenny Rogers' music, is it really country? Because by today's standards, it's just like some of his duets with Dolly Parton and that were just like love songs. They were like really, it's not country like.
No, it's more pop country.
Yeah, it's for the time, it's weird. Like country then, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, Willie Nelson, I mean,
yeah,
same thing. It's country, but it's not modern day. You don't have the driving guitars and the drums and all that.
Yeah.
Which is like modern day country is more, honestly, borders more on rock than anything.
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah,
To a degree.
I think it all comes. Everybody says it all comes down to the lyrics. You're talking about your dog died, your girlfriend left you, you're sitting on the bar still drinking.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, number 2 for me, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, Joy and Pain.
Yes.
One of them songs you don't hear it often, but if it comes on a, just out of the blue, you're like, oh my God, Joy, pump it up, pain.
Guaranteed to have been played at every mumble from like 88 to 95.
Also, every wedding from like 88 to 95. Yeah. But one of those songs like you forget about, except for these weird moments that people still put it on there.
Right. Rob Bass, I would definitely, if he came out in like a late 80s, early 90s tour, went out of those rappers, I would go.
It Takes Two is the other one, right?
Yeah. I was thinking It Takes Two. You said that. So, speaking of It Takes Two, number 2, American Pie, Don McLean.
Yeah. Bye, Mr.
Again, maybe once a year, you'll hear it on the radio.
Right. And you forget what a banger of a song it was.
And another song where everybody knows all the words.
Right.
You'll sit there and sing along.
Yeah.
So
no, that's a good one. And my number 1, I always forget about this, and then it comes on, and I remember being a little kid and absolutely loving it, and it was huge at the time. Paul Simon, You Can Call Me Al.
Never.
Yes, you did.
You sure?
Yep.
Oh, that's it. Oh, I've definitely heard it.
It's like Bodyguard, but You Can Call Me Al.
Okay. Yeah.
You know it immediately.
Was this a Weekend at Bernie's?
No.
Yeah, I remember.
And Chevy Chase was in it.
Okay.
In the video. And the thing was, Chevy Chase was funny at the time. National Lampoons.
Yeah.
The whole deal, like he ends up a trumpet on his head. It was goofy. Okay. It was just 2 of them in a white room with different instruments.
Gotcha.
It was pretty cool, but it's one of those ones that once you hear it, you forget that you used to.
Yeah.
And then you hear it and you're like, oh my God, this is catchy. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 1 from the movie, Endless Love. Lionel Richie and Diana Ross.
Yeah.
Another one of those
It's
ballads.
been used in a few movies here and there.
Yeah, the funniest one I can think of is what Adam Sandler movie was, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Where they're ice skating and the guy in the Zamboni is singing it and they have the shadow and you can see him moving his lips. But yeah, it's been used here and there. But again, probably I would imagine it came out in 81. So I would think from 81 to 86, I can't imagine how many weddings that was.
Weddings and prom songs.
Right. For real. So.
Yeah. No, they're good, man. You forget about them. My honorable mentions was Cat Stevens, Wild World.
Okay.
Very, very popular song.
Yeah. Controversial
70s.
Dude.
70s, right? Snow, Informer.
Oh, I love that song.
Huge hit.
Yeah.
But you never, kids would be like, what the fuck is this? They never heard of it.
Who is this guy?
Right, you've heard.
Call Me Dead.
Right, you've heard Vanilla Ice.
Right.
You know what I mean? You've heard that kind of stuff, but you did not hear...
Robbie Van Winkle, Vanilla Ice has stayed relevant all these years.
No, but I'm saying, Ice Ice Baby still plays, intermittently.
It does.
You don't hear Informer.
No.
And that thing was a mega hit at the time.
I can tell you I heard Informer at the Vince Lombardi truck stop on the New Jersey Turnpike in July of this year.
Really?
When we went to Atlantic City, I picked Carly up and we stopped to grab something quick to eat because it was around dinner time. And cashing out, I'm like, holy fuck, that's Informer. And I'm the only asshole in line singing it.
but that's the point, right? It's a forgotten song you hear and you're like, oh my God, that was a banger at the time.
Yeah, it was.
And while we were doing this, I wrote one more down. Natalie Imbruglia, Torn. That was in the early to late 90s.
I remember. Yeah.
Another song, if it came on, you'd be like, oh my God. Yeah. Did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, a couple came up as we were talking. Jamiroquai, Virtual Insanity.
Yep.
That was huge. We played that at my first wedding. That was their hit. And apparently they're still big overseas, but that was their one big U.S. single that came out. And Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison.
Yeah, that girl is poison.
Yeah, that was a shit.
I just heard them. Did they just perform that? They did.
Probably.
At the fucking Thanksgiving Day parade.
Did they really?
They were on with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and they did
No shit.
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Oh, I was trying to get stuck with a needle.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an awesome list, dude. I enjoyed that.
That's fun.
While we're on music for a second, our guy Wax Mechanics came out with
Yeah,
that new
awesome
song. I
new
like
song.
that
I do
song.
too.
His voice is very powerful.
I love his music.
Yeah.
He's very, very good.
It's thought provoking music
It
too.
is.
Like if you listen to the lyrics of it, but that song is good. The video's a little weird for me, but the song is great.
All of his videos are off beat.
He's like in a straitjacket singing.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's the concept of it's great, but like
I want to see one.
Our intro song is his.
It's his. I want to see one
on the video, not
right. I want to see him go. I want to see him get some major radio airplay. The dude is so talented.
Yeah, he is. All right, let's move along. All right, 5 crazy questions sponsored by Scalable Computers, presented by Winnie.
Yes, sir. Number 1, what character from a movie, book, or show do you relate to the most, and why?
Probably. Can it be a combination?
Yeah, sure.
All right, probably there's parts. Will Hunting, not the smart parts, the not knowing how to be loved part.
Okay.
Will Hunting, I very much kind of line with him in that. Like you just don't, that I don't know how to accept hugs. I'm just not good when people outwardly love me. I don't know how to accept it.
Right.
And then probably E from Entourage. Scrappy, tough, try to do things for people even though I don't necessarily have the smoothest way of doing it.
This was delivery.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's ever coming from a place of ill intent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I try to get it done.
All right. Number 2, if you could only subscribe to one YouTube channel for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
The Outlaw Blitz podcast, of course.
Nice. There you go.
Beyond that, it would probably be something like
Carpet cleaning.
No, probably like Dude Perfect. That
They're
shit's
fun.
Amazing, and it comes out pretty frequently.
Yeah,
and they have musicians on, athletes on.
Yeah.
But like for the rest of your life, I mean, the Outlaw Blitz podcast.
There you go. Number 3, what fictional character do you have beef with?
It's varied. The daughter in Ozark, the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Such a fucking whiny bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some characters that are bad. Like if you ever watch the Harry Potter movies, it's only one. Well, no, it's a couple movies, but Dolores Umbridge, I think she was more evil than even Voldemort.
Right.
Because she was a scumbag. Like
right.
she was like a politician.
Right.
She just changed her stripes to whatever kept her in that power loop.
Agreed, 100%. Yeah, she was an asshole.
Yeah, real dirtbag.
Number 4. Would you rather have a piece of paper run between each of your toes simultaneously, or get your testicle skin firmly caught in your zipper?
Skin in the zipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to pull the zipper apart, but that'll be one pinch that'll hurt for a while between your toes, bro. If they're all paper cuts.
Yeah.
10 of them.
Well, it's 8.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
it
still
sucks.
Yeah, 8 of them. Oh God.
Oh.
Yeah, and then how far back does it go?
That's true because you got that web.
Yeah, and then every time you probably flex your foot, it reopens.
It's gonna suck.
So for how much longer is it gonna bother you?
You're gonna have the bloody sock every day.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Let's see. In number 5, would you rather have NFL kicker Justin Tucker kick you as hard as he can in the side of your thigh?
Yeah.
Or take a header off your porch and clear all the steps, and you have one of your hands stuck in your pocket?
I'll take the kick in the thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's going to hurt so bad.
Yeah, I mean...
That's dead.
You might have Charlie horse, but...
That's dead leg to the
coming from breaking a shoulder,
yeah.
I will clearly take...
You take the kick?
Yeah, just... you'll limp for a week. So
You'll definitely limp for a week.
If it hits that nerve on the side of your leg...
Dead legged.
Yeah.
Done.
That's
You're
not
going down.
Good. Right.
No. All right, there's the 5 crazies.
Oh, they weren't bad, man. They weren't bad. Pretty quick,
A couple
pretty
thought
easy.
provoking and a couple funny ones.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it moving. We have done before. Over and Under, sponsored by Budget Blinds of East Greenbush, this week via GMAC. Number 1, power strips.
Underrated.
Highly underrated because our computer wasn't plugged in today, and if we had one, we could have kept
We
it plugged
do
in.
too. In the bottom of that bag, we have that extra power strip.
All right.
Maybe we'll have to fire that bitch up.
Maybe TCB with HW3 can figure that out this week.
Maybe we will. Yeah. The only downside with power strips is you end up trying to fucking fire up every plug in that bitch. And you got to make sure you get a good one. Not the $8. You can't buy the $8 one and plug 10
No.
in.
Do you remember when we had the football thing at the SYFL and John Arsenal put up that power bar?
Yes.
That was the best because it was huge.
Right.
It was like a whole wall.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, this thing's like the Cadillac.
It definitely was.
And it was. We ran scoreboard. We ran everything off of that.
Yep.
It was awesome. It was awesome. All right, number 2, hackers. People that hack like PlayStation accounts.
Oh.
You know.
That should be on Scumbag.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but.
I don't know how to answer that. They're assholes, so they're
definitely overrated.
They're overrated, yeah.
But it's underrated how much pain they cause. It's right. I think a hacker's nothing more than a troll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some hackers, they go for personal gain.
Right.
Other hackers, you're a piece of shit. You're preying on somebody that's working hard or doing something.
On a YouTube rabbit hole, you've watched the guy that goes, he's got blue hair.
Yeah.
And he goes in and he calls these hackers. And
right, but he's like a hacker himself.
He strings them along.
So he's the underrated one.
Yeah, he gets into their systems and fucks their shit up. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
I watched it to where he mirrors their screen and you can just watch all the icons disappear off their screen.
I like when he shows them like the video of them.
Yeah, he hacks their camera and turns their camera on, and then now he's videoing them.
Yeah.
So, are there good hackers out there? Yes.
There's people with the right intentions, but overall, I think hacking is nothing different than trolls.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, number 3, macaroni salad.
Underrated.
Yeah, you're a big macaroni salad guy. Do you like it when it has like the carrot shavings in it?
Depends. It doesn't.
Some of them you get too much extra.
With homemade macaroni salad, I don't mind the carrot shavings. I like the mayo and the fresh meat, like the Hellmann's and or Dukes.
Not Dukes.
Or Dukes.
Not Cool Whip.
Not Cool
or Miracle Whip.
But the stuff that's made in a grocery store has a lot of vinegar in it.
I was going to say, I'm not a big vinegar guy.
No, I'd rather have homemade macaroni salad.
Yeah, me too. And my mom, she puts eggs and tuna in hers.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, phone calls with your kids.
Underrated.
Highly underrated. I think it's just at the point in life we're in.
Yeah.
Like to get my youngest one on the phone, he doesn't talk.
Yeah, no.
He could have a big part. Hey, what's up? I'm going to text you something.
Right.
But like to have an actual call with our older group, your 2 boys and my 2 girls are older.
Right.
They're in their 20s and they don't live right on top of me. So they talk to
Chris is definitely a call guy.
Phone or video calls, either way.
Max will text more, but if something's going on, he'll call.
Yeah, it's just good to hear their voice.
Yeah.
You can tell a lot more. Like a text, you don't always get intent. You know, you kind of you can't really read it all the time. You're not reading, but to hear their voice, you can kind of tell if something's wrong or if they're happy or if they're excited.
Tuesday was nice. We met for lunch. Chris was off, so he joined us too. Me and Max and him, and we went to Locks. We got there at 1:00, and I don't think we left at like 3:30.
That's nice. You just sat around, BS, ate lunch, took your time.
Yep.
It's that stuff. But like that phone calls, because like I said, mine are nowhere near. One's 5 hours away. One's 7 hours by flight.
Trying to coordinate schedules, times, and everything else.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And number 5, delis.
Underrated. True
Underrated,
delis,
yeah.
underrated.
Like, and you don't realize it until you get out of the Northeast, the things you miss. Like when I didn't
Diners.
live, diners and delis.
Yeah.
You know, and bagels and pizza. Like there's good pizza everywhere, but a lot of places don't do it like what you're accustomed to.
Right.
Like they have Shoney's and shit like that down there, you know, and Denny's, and truck stops and Waffle House. A Waffle House is not a diner.
No. Truck stop might be the closest if you can find a good one.
Yeah, but even them, they're really not a diner.
Right.
Like
Waffle House.
Waffle
I've
House.
only been to one.
Yeah, Blacksburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a greasy shithole that
That was
was.
fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Absolutely tore my stomach up.
Yeah, you sure did.
Waffle
That was one
House
where
is-
you had to make sure you were done before we left because
No.
we had another 3-4 hours on the road.
Now there's one in. There are probably more than one. I can think of one on over by Coastal Carolina University that I see every time we go to the games down there. So there's a couple Waffle Houses down by my father.
Yep.
But we have not dared go to one.
Well, if you were close enough to get home
Yeah.
in the comfort of your own shitter, then
And I'm sorry,
you
Waffle House, I don't know how the fuck Tommy put that down that day. Waffle House steak looks like it's like a fucking roadkill.
Yeah.
It looks horrible.
There is a very good diner in Myrtle Beach at the
Yes.
southern end down by Merrill's Inlet. Just before you make the left to go down Merrill's Inlet,
Yeah.
down there's like it's straight out of the 80s, dude. It's like pink and teal.
That's
It's like
awesome.
the colors
Yeah.
of it, you know what I mean?
Miami Vice
With,
Diner.
yeah, with like palm tree type
Oh, yeah.
shit in it.
Yeah.
And straight out of the 80s, bro, but the food was good.
Oh, we went to a place in Calabash last time I was down. Fucking breakfast was amazing. But my father started off the day. We got there probably about 11:30. I think he started off the day with a flight of Bloody Marys. They served, at 11 a.m. they're serving beer, scotch, fucking
Right.
whatever, and then the food. But the breakfast was so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was my 5 over-unders. You got any off the top of your head rate in that mix or no? You're good.
Peanut butter and fluff sandwiches.
Overrated.
Really?
I'm all about the jelly.
Okay.
PB&J.
All right.
Uncrustables.
Peanut butter and Nutella?
No, peanut butter and jelly. Here's the thing. Grape or strawberry? Jelly.
I would say 85% of the time grape, and once in a while a strawberry.
I'm the other.
Really?
I'd rather strawberry than once in a while grape. I did do something last week. I did peanut butter and jelly, and then I put a layer of honey on it.
That's good. Peanut butter and honey I've had.
Yeah,
which
pretty
is
good.
also
It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
Absolutely.
And if you get Peter Pan honey, chunky,
Kraft.
Kraft peanut butter's the best. And you got to order from Amazon so it comes because in America you don't get it.
Yeah.
But chunky peanut butter, which I'm not a fan of, but if you get the honey chunky Peter Pan,
Oh, it's
very
really
good. The regular chunky without the honey in it, ugh. I picked up the wrong ones. It was like 2 for $5, and I grabbed the wrong ones.
Two of them?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It was 2 for $5.
Yeah.
And I dipped in. I was like, oh, God. I don't want that shit.
It's got to be, some things have to be a certain way.
Yeah. All right, let's move along. I like that new Rabbit Hole song.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, this week on the Rabbit Hole, more cow hooves.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the best when they get an abscess in there of some sort.
Oh, yeah.
They pull out like a fucking rock that's like the size of
You
the
see
end of the microphone.
That bubbly white shit
then-
starts coming out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's horrible. So I did more YouTube. But again, if the guys I watch don't put new content out, maybe once or twice a week, it's been like a dry week.
Yep.
No Eric Sim this week. Trevor Bauer did something where he bought every pitching he ate off Amazon and tried using them all at one time, which was pretty comical.
Speaking of Bauer, real quick, I do kind of want to get his thing for Boston for his arm strength.
The stick?
Yeah.
Yeah. They rode him in college. I guess
Well, he went from like 70 to like 90 something with that
he
stick,
went to
right?
school with Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
And Garrett Cole's a fucking asshole to him.
Well, Garrett Cole looks like he's an asshole, right?
He could, yeah.
Right?
Bauer's definitely offbeat. I think what's kind of fucked is he got found innocent on them charges.
Oh, MLB is black
yeah,
marked him.
Yeah, because he's different.
Where's the outrage?
Right.
Where's the outrage? But yeah, it builds a lot of, what is it? He has like a stick, right? And he did like all these workouts with it, but he went from throwing like in the 70s to like in the 90s, right?
Oh, it got near 100. He's topped 100 before. He had a great year in Japan this year.
Yeah, I'd like to see, like, now that he's rehabbing to get that arm strength back, I'd like to get him that Bauer stick. Car painting, a lot of car painting.
Okay.
Surviving Barstool. I've been watching a lot of that on TikTok.
Surviving Barstool?
Yeah, so it's like Survivor.
Okay.
They have teams and you get voted off and you get locked into Barstool for... It's a game. Like, you're in Barstool. That's just awesome, all it is.
That's cool.
Everybody's in there. You know, the people that are
the
people that are participating. I don't know if there's 16 of them or whatever. Like, Will Compton's on a team.
Yeah.
Dave's on a team. Big Cat was the first one voted off. So they were in there, and then YouTube decided they were going to pull it.
Okay.
For whatever reason. Somebody flagged them. So Dave's, like, trying to figure out, like, the amount of money they make off of YouTube. They had to pull it down. He wanted to do pay-per-view. People call him a scumbag, and this is a money grab. He's like, listen, it's like $10. He's like, I'm trying to give you the whole Barstool season.
Right.
He's like, I had to pull it off of YouTube. We can't lose our YouTube channel.
There's no
for this. He's like, so I'm in talks with like Rumble, and I'm in talks with, Elon. If somebody wants to pay me the sponsorship dollars to do it, if not, I got to. He goes, it might be free. I don't know. He goes, but like this is financially driven as a business.
Right.
Like, this is huge for us.
You can't fault the guy for making money.
Right. And this is like the third season of it.
Right.
So, and it's big. Like the first couple episodes, like you'll find it. If you look it up, they have like these different games. It's just like Survivor, but it's Surviving Barstool.
Portnoy gets
a lot of heat.
Yeah, but people forget what he did for small businesses during COVID. With the One Bite app.
Right. Or sold shirts for people or whatever.
Yeah, he was fucking phenomenal.
Well, you know what it is? He's that guy.
He is that guy.
He's like that Northeast, he's a Massachusetts guy, but like Northeast New York guy, like them people
he's the guy that stands
that
out.
are in your face and they tell you.
Right.
And then when something doesn't go their way.
When he was arguing with ESPN.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I love Portnoy. I think he's good for the industry.
You're starting to see lines in the sand be drawn now.
Yeah.
Did you see Dana White with the Pelotons?
No.
You see what happened there?
No.
Theo, I thought we talked about this last week. No.
Uh-uh.
Theo Vaughn had Robert F. Kennedy on his show.
Okay.
Peloton called him and told him, take it down. Nope, we're not going to sponsor you and take it down. And
because it was RFK?
Because it was RFK. And he's like, that guy's a Democrat. So Dana White's on the show, and he's telling him, he's like, listen, how do you handle, the Bud Light thing? Because Dana White took Bud Light on. And
right.
Everybody was mad at him, and he's like, whatever. So Dana White goes, who told you that? Theo Vaughn's like, I don't know. He's like, I think you're full of shit. I think you do know. And he's like, he goes, no, I'm thinking. And with Theo Vaughn, you really...
He may or may not know. He's shocked.
And he's like, no, it was Peloton. So Dana was like, yo, fuck them. And the interview's in UFC's headquarters. So he calls over somebody, hey, Ricky. He's like, yo, go take all the Peloton bikes and throw them the fuck out. He goes, fuck that guy. He goes, no one's going to tell me, or they shouldn't tell you who you can have on your show.
Right.
This is America. You want to vote? You vote for who the fuck you want to vote for. I vote for who I want to vote for. You're going to tell me. You're going to pull your funding. You're going to pull your sponsorship of the show because of who I had on there. Tell that guy to go fuck himself. And Dana White at the UFC headquarters took all the Pelotons in the trash.
Good.
Threw them out. And then he goes, let me guess. He goes, let me guess where that guy's from. He goes, San Francisco. And they look it up, San Francisco. He's
shit.
Fucking perfect. He goes, who cares? He goes, they're turning on Bobby Kennedy. He goes, they're turning on RFK Jr. He goes, he's a fucking Democrat. This is exactly what they're trying to do.
Right.
Needless to say, I said all that, for that reason, because this is what they tried to do to Dave. You can't have this guy on. It's censorship, to a degree. They don't like what you're saying. All right, so then you don't sponsor that episode, or we'll find another sponsor.
Right. For everybody that doesn't want to sponsor it, there's going to be 10 that do.
You hope.
You hope.
You hope. You know what I mean? But I think lines are being drawn in the sand now.
Yeah.
Is what I was getting to. Is people are starting to get very tired of that bullshit. Did you see the bullshit with the kid this week, where they tried to say he was in blackface and he had a headdress on at the Chiefs game?
No
You haven't
shit.
seen this?
No.
Deadspin went in on this kid.
Real.
Here's going to be another $200 million kid. Remember when the guy was banging the drum in the face of the kid, and they said the kid was antagonizing him on CNN a few years back? That kid won hundreds of millions of dollars. Kid, 12 years old maybe, at a Chiefs game. Half his face is painted black over here. This half is red. He has a big headdress on, cheering his favorite team.
Okay.
They take a side profile shot where he's got just you can only see the black.
Right.
And Deadspin goes in on him that he's racist, he's this, he's in blackface, goes in on a kid.
He's 12.
On a kid. Then you take the shot for where it's face on at him. The other half of his face is red.
Right.
And he's Native American. So you're going in on him for being having blackface and having a headdress on, and he's all these kind of things. He's a 12-year-old fan. So apparently the Chiefs, they're players. So then it shows the kids like, whatever, doing the chop or whatever it is, the chant. And the players, black players, are cheering them on.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So apparently the Chiefs this week, players are wearing red and black on their face.
Cool.
Like in support of the kid. People are getting tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
People are getting tired of drag through stuff. So I think like going back to the Barstool thing and the Dana White thing, the line's really starting to be drawn in this sand right now.
Yeah.
Like we're tired. We're tired of all this petty, nitpicky bullshit that's going on. All the Karens in the world that want only their view to ever be.
Karen, I have watched a lot of TikTok and YouTube of Karens getting what they deserve.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah. They're good. What else have you watched?
TikTok, a lot of Sopranos theory stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny, that's 20-something years later since the series debuted.
Yep.
And there's still new content about it.
Yeah, and then it Not Today, Pal probably spins a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Yep. They're great.
Yeah.
I love them both. They're fun.
What day does their podcast come out?
Fridays.
Every Friday?
Every Friday.
So you listen today?
I haven't yet. I will later.
I know they're talking about she made a dating profile.
Right. Well, that was because she's married to Cutter Dykstra, Dykstra's son. And Rob doesn't. He's done a dating thing, but he's a homebody. He's so different now than he was
when he was younger.
Yeah,
you said, he eats once a day.
Yeah, he was drugging and drinking all back then. Now he's super clean, eats super clean, eats once a day. Is very regimented in what he does, and his dating profile that he put out there, I think he even put on it. We're not going out.
Right.
Like if you want to date, is like I'm an in person. It's not that he likes interacting with the fans. He just prefers to be home.
Yeah.
So they had Jamie on, and they helped her create a profile, and like the booth boys, they call them, all the guys that run the show.
Yeah.
All weighed in with their opinions and stuff. What pictures she should use.
We need booth boys, bro, because like I'm the booth boy.
She is so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, she's just got a great personality.
She does. It makes it even better.
Yeah.
But they're fun to watch, and now I'm up through. Did I just finish season 4 and started season 5? Every time Carly goes away, that's what I watch.
Yeah.
So last couple nights I've been watching it with her home, and I'm up to the part where Junior is in the early stages of dementia.
Yeah.
So he got lost. He went looking for his brother who's been dead for forever.
Yeah.
And he kept repeating, kept telling Tony, "You never had the makings of a varsity athlete." He kept saying over and over again. It was pissing him off to no end. But the last one we watched last night, AJ goes to the city for a Mudvayne concert, and he was supposed to go to Meadows' apartment. He didn't. He goes with friends, and he ends up coming home with no eyebrows.
Yeah, he fell asleep first or something. Right?
Yeah, and his face glued to the carpet in the hotel room. So.
Yeah. This week I watched
Don Candiasi, Uncle Junior. That was another spinoff. He's a very interesting guy. He was in Godfather 2 way back in the 70s. Yeah. He's had such a long career. Started out as a Broadway actor, and has done a lot of music. The guy has a phenomenal
Oh
voice.
yeah, he can sing. He sang on Sopranos.
He did. Yeah, he sang a
really.
couple of the Italian songs.
Did you ever see the episode? It was on TikTok or whatever. It's a bunch of them sitting there, like after the Sopranos, they got back together, like a reunion thing.
Yes.
And he talks about when Tony
scene.
ad libs the thing. Don't you love me? And it breaks him down.
And it broke him down
because it broke him down in the scene,
the show,
and it broke him down just to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because James Gandolfini, that wasn't part of the
he had already passed away.
No, but that was improvised.
Right. So, but he had already passed away when they did the reunion, so it got him again at the reunion.
Right. But in the moment, it got him because it wasn't part of the show.
It was so powerful. They zoom in on Uncle Junior's face, and he was outwardly emotional towards Tony. He never told him he loved him.
But the fucking dude's lip was quivering.
Yeah, he's staring at the TV. They're watching Coyotes and Prairie Dogs.
Jesus Christ, bro, you are a fan.
And the lips started to quiver.
Yeah.
And you could see his eyes start to flutter a little bit.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah, I saw that before. So I watched Big Bang Theory. I was a Big Bang Theory fan. So I never took this Young Sheldon.
I was going to ask, did you ever watch it?
This week, I've watched every episode.
Is it funny?
It actually is. Because Sheldon annoyed me on Big Bang.
Yeah.
He's very annoying. Like, he's just, but it kind of shows you why. Like, it goes back. But his family, they did such a good job with his family. It is so freaking funny, dude. And his twin sister is probably my favorite character on the thing.
That's funny. And
then his Mima, because, like, in Big Bang Theory, she's an old lady. Yeah. So you don't see that she's a drunk gambler in East Texas in the 90s.
Oh, that's funny.
And, like, the time frame fits, like, our time frame. So, like, a lot of the music, a lot of the TV shows, a lot of all these things that happen are during our time frame. Like, we were around for it.
Yeah.
So, like, they had to go and they owned a VHS rental store at one point. You know what I mean? Like, those things. So it's very awesome to, like, see.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. You would dig it. Yeah, you would dig it.
Check it out.
And then the last thing I really watched, I watched a lot of, is Steve Harvey. Family Feud shit. He is so funny, dude.
Yeah.
There
are some stupid people out there.
Or say stupid shit in front of their wives and stuff.
It's like, oh my God.
Did you ever see the one? There's a black guy comes up and he's like, it's a white girl. And she goes, come on. And she's bouncing her boobs in front of him. And he just looks over and goes, pow! He smacks me. Dude, your wife's over here.
What is the one where the dude says something and it is totally like part of a word and he finishes it off? I have to. Carly showed it to me 100 times. Yeah. It's a really funny Steve Harvey thing.
Yeah, it'd be like first date, and he says first bank or something.
Now, when he had his TV show, the Steve
Harvey show, yeah, when he had hair.
He's always had that thick ass mustache.
Yeah.
There's a really, really good one where they're kind of going through his life.
Yep.
And
the people that sold his first carpet?
Yes. They have him on and he breaks down.
Really bad.
Yep.
He's like, hey, for your birthday. And he goes, hey, do you love me, baby?
Yeah.
And he goes, these people got me going when I had a carpet cleaning business.
Yep. He broke down.
Bad.
That was something.
He's very loyal to the people that treated him well and brought him up and helped him.
Yeah. Very good dude. Very good dude.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome.
Other than that, a lot of TikTok is one of those things to where I find there's good and bad days. There's some days where
it's like the algorithm
it's
fucks
just
you all up.
flip because I don't want to watch it. And there are those days where it's like, oh man, that's really cool.
Yeah,
and you get caught into it. But
yeah,
a lot of review first impression videos I've watched with first time a music teacher or a voice coach listens to Elvis.
Yeah, or the first time they hear, Men at Work or saw a song.
This is what I've been watching a lot this week. Chad Smith.
Okay.
The drummer.
Yeah.
From Chili Peppers.
Yeah, where no drum in it.
Right.
He just gets it.
It was Jared Leto's band.
Yeah.
And he listens to the first 15 or 20 seconds of the song.
He listens to the song, but it has no drum beat. It has no drum line.
And he comes in and he's like, oh, that's three. That's
a 3-beat.
That's a 3-3.
Yeah.
He comes in and then he fucking kills
it. He killed it on that one song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was almost identical to how that was played.
And he did
even the drum rolls and everything.
Yeah, he did Ariana Grande. I love him. He's great.
He's the guy that looks like Will Ferrell.
Yes.
Yeah.
The older he's gotten, the
Yeah.
more he looks like Will Ferrell. You've seen the drum off with the two of them and Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Like Will can play too.
Yeah. Yep.
But he's
well, Jimmy Fallon's a really good musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a really good. He's funny. His facials. They had his son and his grandson on, and they're like, "Oh, can you?" And his son can play the drums really well too.
Oh yeah.
And the grandson pipes up. He's like, "Oh, you're leaving this out," and he starts making the faces that he makes as he plays.
Yeah.
That shit was funny.
That's cool. You got anything else?
All
right. I got one more thing I want to talk about. Have you seen? I wanted to talk about it a couple of weeks ago when it happened in the football world, but now it's happened in the basketball world.
The refs?
A few weeks ago, Ole Miss football had a player that walked away and was gone for 2 weeks, and 2 full weeks, and position coaches, the school were like, "Yo, Coach Kiffin wants to talk to you. Like, what are you doing? You need to come in and talk to us." I'm not mentally ready to come talk to you. So he comes in, he secretly records the conversation with him and Kiffin. And Kiffin's like, no. Listen, it doesn't matter. When I call you in here, you're a scholarship athlete. You come in and you talk to me.
Right.
You explain to me what's going on. I don't want to hear this mental health stuff. And I think the kid tried to angle like the work, like, hey, he's working me over. This is bullshit. But I'm fully behind Kiffin on this. Like
I am too. You're a
you come in.
athlete.
You come in here and you tell me what's going on, and we'll get you the help you need.
Right.
But not because you don't want to talk to you. Not come talk to me. You don't have any information being back and forth between us. Nothing. He goes, "You're off the team," and then they get all mad. I'm glad people think it's okay to. I guarantee it's to close people down the hall. They're the worst. They don't give a shit. Sorry, it's studio stuff. You might not hear it in a recording, but we heard it. But the point is you come in and you have to have some dialogue with me, and I'll get you the help you need.
Right.
You don't just not show up for 2 weeks to practice, to class, to anything, and then go. And it wasn't like he was in a hospital in a mental health thing where they could have, said, "Hey, listen, we understand." He just decided he wasn't going to go anywhere, do anything for 2 weeks, and then come back and be like, "Okay, I'm here, I'm playing." No, that's not how it works.
That way.
He goes, "You're off the team." He goes, "And read in your handbook." So people like a grand majority of people, this is where I say people are drawing lines in the sand again. Like I would say 90, 95% of people were like, 100%, the coach isn't wrong. If you just don't show up to work for 2 weeks, don't call anybody, you think you're going to have a job?
Right.
You know what I mean? How's that work? If you're in a marriage and you just don't show home for 2 weeks, like you think that's
going to be okay. No.
Right. So then you got the other 10% of people or whatever going, "Oh, his mental health should come first, blah, blah, blah." This is an academic institution.
Right.
I get it. But if you come and you have a dialogue with somebody, they can get you the help you need.
Right. And I'll look at the other side of this too. You're being paid to go there.
Essentially.
You're a scholarship athlete. You have a free ride because of the sport you're playing.
Right.
So if you are a walk-on and you're financing your own way, does it make it any better? No.
No, but do you think you're going to show up to practice when the coach calls you in? Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
The school is taking on the burden of financing your education.
Right.
And you have now shirked your responsibility on the reason why you've been brought to the university.
Right.
No, it's not right.
Right. And that's kind of like where you're looking at like kids today. Can you imagine doing that any time prior to the last 7 or 8 years?
I can't imagine blowing off one practice, much as 2 weeks worth.
2 weeks, no conversation.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
And then the other thing was a kid from Louisville, basketball player the other night, ended up playing in the game, but wasn't going to play in the game because they didn't have the right tights to go under his uniform. The right tights.
Now you're a prima donna, and you can get off the fucking team.
And his coach says it like, "We don't have the right tights." He goes, "Now, mind you," he goes, "I probably shouldn't be telling you guys this." He wasn't going to play the game because we didn't have the right tights.
Right.
He goes, "Now, also, we've never had these tights." So he goes, ultimately, he went out and played. He saw it a different way after having a conversation. But on what world do you think it's okay to not go and play because you don't have the right tights?
Right.
Could you imagine fucking Michael Jordan going, yeah, you don't have the right kind of shorts. I'm not playing tonight.
Right.
It's not how that works, man.
No, they think it's okay because they see the Allen Iversons who practice. We're talking about practice. Or the
Right.
Antonio Browns who leave the fucking field during the middle of a game. And, or Colin Kaepernick, for whatever reason, he left the game. It's not okay. None of it's okay. They're the exception to the rule.
Right.
And they deserve whatever they got afterwards.
Well, it's all, yeah, I think in both of these situations, it's about me before we, right? It's a team
absolutely.
sport. It's about what in the now, like I'm not being compensated in a certain way. No, that's not how this works.
I'll never, listen, Colin Kaepernick can believe in whatever he wants to believe in. It's his right. But I'll never back that because you know what? The same people that support Colin Kaepernick are the same ones that shit on Tim Tebow.
Right. Tim Tebow got ran out of the league for kneeling to pray.
Right.
The other guy got quote unquote ran out of the league, but when the league came back and tried to help him, he blew off the tryout.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's certain people that are paper warriors, and there's other people that are warriors. Right. They put their money where their mouth is. You know what I mean? There's other people that it's all just a show. Colin Kaepernick made more money off the field with all their campaigns and all their whatever they were trying.
Colin Kaepernick got a Nike deal.
I know.
After he left.
I didn't want to talk about Colin Kaepernick. The point was, these two young college kids.
I know. It's.
In what world is that okay? That's not okay.
It's not okay.
And that's and here's where I'm at. The coach, I back both coaches in the situations. No, dude, or some of this bullshit where the universities make all these millions of dollars off these kids. I get it,
but they fixed that now.
They do. Well, you have NIL,
right?
So like Johnny Manziel would have been a multimillionaire. So would have Tim Tebow today.
Mikey Williams, know who he is?
No.
All right, he was a high school prodigy basketball player. He was YouTube Mr. Everything. Great player.
Yeah.
Gets commits to go to where was he going to go? Shit, I can't remember.
Anyway,
it was a major school. It was a top 10 or top 15 school. Gets in April this year. Gets arrested and he's tied into a murder, gun charges. Also, she's facing 30 years in prison.
Right.
The kid, as a high school senior, had a NIL deal with Puma. He was a Puma signed athlete.
Right.
Had his own sneaker.
Yep.
As a high school senior. And now he'll never be a pro. He'll never play college ball. He's done.
Well, but there's the thing. Money doesn't change character.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's too much of this. We've gotten too far down the path, of individualism. A team, you're not an individual on a team. You're a team player. You're part of a team.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no it, and communication matters. So when you got one of these things in your hand all the time, text the coach. Hey, I'm going through some stuff mental health wise. I need a break. I can't. I physically and mentally can't handle it right now. Let them get you the help.
Right.
So there's no reason to not be in communication for 2+ weeks.
Right.
There's no reason to think that you are greater than the team, that you don't have the right tights, so you're not going to play.
Right.
I think you're starting to see a break where people are finally tired of hearing all this bullshit.
Right. Now,
they're like, we've had enough. This isn't acceptable in any level. Let's move along.
I'll give you an example of the way it was done right. Nick Senzel was a big prospect with the Reds.
Yep.
Made it to the majors, was having a decent career as a young player. Encountered mental health issues. He went to the Reds and said, listen, I'm no good to myself right now. I'm no good to the team. I need to get myself right. But he went to the organization. The organization said, you know what? You do you. We back you. Get the help you need.
Right.
He did it the right way. He went to the organization and said, I need help.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Nobody's asking.
Communication.
Right. Nobody's asking for anything more than to be forthcoming with whatever's going on.
Right. If you thought you're the same, and it ties all back into like in a marriage. If you fucking think you're not going to be able to handle it, and you got something major going on, don't you think your spouse, your other half, your other partner would want to hear that, except for as opposed to disappearing for 2 weeks
Right.
with no communication. Everybody's worried sick, but you're not. You're just whatever.
Doing whatever.
Yeah, it was just two things I saw that, ultimately you're just like, what are we doing here?
Crazy.
In the college world, like these entitlement of certain people. And like I said, I think people are getting done. Like we've been ending on some like real crazy shit the last 2 weeks, man. We gotta get off of that. But it's just stuff you come across and you're just like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's mind blowing because it's stuff that when we were kids,
You would never tolerate it.
no, or you wouldn't have seen it because it
Right.
would have been tolerated.
Right. And then they tell you, oh, the kids are different now. You can't teach these kids like this. That's
Sure
not how
can.
it works. You sure can. There's an old Tom Landry line that says, "You encourage what you tolerate." That's if you're going to tolerate it, you're going to encourage the
Right.
behavior. You know?
At the end of the day,
and you get what you demand, and you encourage what you tolerate.
yeah, at the end of the day, Lane Kiffin, you know what? It's a business for him too.
Yeah.
He has a business to run, which is his college football team. He's
Right.
getting paid a lot of money
But
by the
but
university.
it's beyond that. If I allow you to do it,
I don't know how everybody do it.
then everybody all of a sudden you have nobody here.
Right.
Where's the rules? You know what I mean? Eventually,
Right.
what happens?
You can't
It's running amok.
keep changing the rules to fit individuals. Rules are rules for a reason.
Right. Yep.
So
Got anything else?
nah, we've been pretty deep today.
Yeah, we have been all over the map too.
Yeah, for real.
All right, buddy, take us home.
All right, for GMAC, this is Woody. This has been the Outlaw Blitz podcast, and as always, take it easy.